everyone, and welcome back to Spirituality with Gabriella. Thanks so much for tuning into another video, and if you are new here, a warm welcome from me. On this channel, I make tarot pick-a-card readings, and I also talk about energy and how to protect your energy. So today's pick-a-card is about what makes people fall in love with you. So if that is a curiosity for you, stay tuned, and we are going to get clear, accurate, and specific messages from Spirit today. I also have an exciting announcement. So today's video is actually sponsored by Keen. If you guys don't know Keen, it is such a great platform for tarot readers, psychics, astrologers, all of the above, and all of the readings I've gotten on Keen have been very clear and accurate. And the thing I really love about Keen is they have advisors available 24/7. So regardless of whether it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon or 3 a.m. in the morning, you can get a reading. My most recent reading was with Bear Sage. He is my favorite advisor and the one that I always go back to. I was looking for some advice on a romantic connection that I have been managing and dealing with, and he gave me tons of advice, and he actually gave me really specific details about the connection that line up with reality, and that just made me feel so much better. So if you would like some advice, then Keen is a great platform to use. As a special offer, if you use my link, which I'm sharing on the screen right now, you can get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99. So you can use my link, make sure that you use this one on the screen. It's also pinned down in the comments below, or you can use the QR code, which I am showing on the screen right now. Both of these will allow you to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99. So check it out. Let me know how it goes in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. Give me your report so that I can connect with you and learn about your reading. And without further ado, let's get into the 3 piles that we're working with today. So over here, we have pile 1 with the rough turquoise. Here we have pile 2 with the Lapis Lazuli. And here we have pile 3 with the rose quartz. So take all of the time you need to choose the pile that speaks most to you, and once you've got that, you can fast forward using the timestamps in the description down below, and you can get your reading, and I will see you there. All right, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So let's find out what makes people fall in love with you. This is such a fun topic. Your first card here is the Knight of Cups, so that is a very good card to be getting. And I'm not going to pull that many cards today. I'm just not feeling that I need to from Spirit. Spirit is already talking to me, so let's just pull a couple. Okay, we have the 3 of Swords. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, we have the 4 of Cups. And we have the World. All right, you guys, and I'm also going to pull just a couple oracle cards here. What makes people fall in love with you? Angel of Love. And the Thinking Woman. All right, you guys, so the first thing that I was immediately getting drawn to is your intellect. I see somebody who has a very pragmatic mind. You are an intelligent person and you are a sharp thinker, and you're the type of person who can think quickly. So if a situation comes up and it's kind of urgent or the circumstances are difficult, you're not really fazed by it. I'm seeing you as somebody who can be very decisive even in difficult moments. And so when I see the Thinking Woman here, this actually lined up with exactly what I was hearing from Spirit, which is that people fall in love with you for your mind. You have this mind that is not just sharp, it's also expansive and creative, and you can really do a lot with a little. So even if you have very few resources, I'm being shown from Spirit that you can do a lot with that, and it's kind of like you can make a little go a long way. So I'm definitely hearing that. Also, Spirit is saying that visually you're a very pleasing person. Like your hair is very shiny is exactly what Spirit is saying. And so naturally people just like the way that you look. I feel like a lot of you have a prominent nose, and I'm saying it in a very positive way, where it's a beautiful feature in your face and it kind of balances all of the other features as well. And I'm being shown that you also have these beautiful eyes. They're very glistening. And when people look into your eyes, they sense your kindness. And especially when it comes to romantic influences, I'm seeing that when someone looks into your eyes, they truly do feel very connected to you. They feel like they can see your soul and they sense your warmth. And what I'm hearing from spirit is that sometimes you can be a little bit intimidating to romantic partners because one, you are gorgeous, like you are an exquisite person and you hold yourself with a lot of poise. Secondly, you have this very sharp mind. And then thirdly, you have all these beautiful features. But the thing that really helps is actually the warmth that people sense in your eyes. So, keep giving people those beautiful gazes that you give them. And I feel you just do this naturally. It's not something you're being very intentional about, but I'm hearing from spirit that you do speak with your eyes a lot and you don't really need to say things all the time. I feel that a lot of your connection with people is usually felt. And it's almost like this intuitive communication that's happening through your eyes, even more so than your speech. And very interestingly, because you are such an intellectual person and because your mind is so sharp, spirit is saying that sometimes your talking could actually get in the way of building just a very like fluid romantic connection. And you might even have a tendency to overthink. And I'm kind of going to get into the Three of Swords here, which is not what it looks like. So we'll talk about that in more detail. But I'm just getting that you think a lot. You're a very analytical person. And even when you meet someone, you're kind of assessing them from a lot of different angles. And that's actually an amazing trait. It's such a talent that you have because you can see all of the different sides to somebody. But at the same time, you might have a tendency to overthink. And, that can make things a little bit more complicated than how they actually are in reality sometimes. And so Spirit is saying that, every positive trait obviously has like a darker side or a harder side to it. And Spirit is just saying it's okay to allow yourself to be fluid and free and kind of lean more into this energy, which is the angel of love energy, the trust that everything happens in divine timing and everything is working out exactly as it's meant to. And you have this warmth and this softness in your heart. And like I said, it especially comes through your eyes. And so this is what allows people to also get out of their minds and fall in love with you. So this is a good thing to be remembering when you're connecting with people. I'm hearing a couple things. First of all, I feel that some people, especially if it's, romantic influences, they might feel like they're not good enough for you. I feel that you might have some accolades or some credentials behind your name. Maybe you have a very good education, or at least you just have a very sharp mind. That's what I keep getting pulled to. And so I'm feeling like some potential suitors are a little bit overshadowed by this energy, and it's nothing that you should change because the right person will come and fill in the space and meet you there exactly where you are. But I do feel that sometimes people have a tendency to talk themselves out of progressing things with you only because they feel that you are so on your own 2 feet and you have such a beautiful combination of being very smart and intelligent, but also very soft and warm at the same time. And so I'm just seeing that, sometimes this might be a reason that people are actually held back from progressing something with you. But I am definitely at the same time seeing that this is actually a nice filtering mechanism that Spirit has almost offered you as a gift from above. Because I read this card 2 different ways, the Four of Cups. You can read this as somebody who's apathetic, which is the traditional reading, or you can also read this as a gift or an offering, which is within reach, but it's not always like quite in your 3D yet. And I'm kind of seeing it more this way. So I'm feeling like this is just a reminder that if you haven't found that perfect person yet, don't worry, because all of the energy that you harvest and all of the intellectual energy that you have is like this great gift. And it actually filters out all of the things that you're not that interested in and all of the energies that you don't need. And it ensures that only these high vibrational people are going to come through for you. And Spirit is saying that in the past, you haven't always had high vibrational people, but that's okay because that narrative and that pattern is absolutely changing. And I'm seeing a lot more grounding influences coming into your life. and people who make a good amount of money. And so Spirit is also saying that another reason that people fall in love with you, and they're saying that you're going to laugh at this, is because you seem like somebody who could generate a lot of stability, and that could be in the form of wealth and prosperity. Like, you seem like someone who has such a sharp mind and so much intellectualism that you could really create something, and this could lend itself to a lot of innovative projects. You might work in technology, you might work in consulting, for example. You might create something completely new, and I'm seeing that you use all of your creative power, and it definitely funnels into your work, and it also impresses those around you. And people really value this in you. You're the type of person who has extremely unique opinions, and it's informed by years of reading and research and knowledge. Like, you're the type of person who's very hungry to acquire knowledge. And so I'm seeing that people really genuinely trust your advice. And when they seek you out, they're really seeking out your specific expertise. Because I keep hearing from Spirit that the expertise you have is very unique. And the other thing I want to say is that you have a beautiful way of giving people advice where you are being honest with them and you are showing them how they can grow, but you're also being extremely warm. And so this is a very authentic thing about you, which honestly not a lot of people have these days. You know, oftentimes when someone asks for advice, the other person will just say, "Oh, you're doing great," and then they won't really give them true advice. But I feel that you give true advice and you give direction, but you also give the other person enough room to figure it out for themselves. And this is a great talent. And so this would lend to being an amazing coach or teacher, a manager, any kind of leadership role. I see that you excel in this, and people naturally will look up to you. And this is another reason, honestly, why people fall in love with you, both for romantic relationships and then very much so for business. I definitely see marriage for you. We have the world here, and so I'm seeing that you're the type of person who is also very comfortable having a commitment. And it feels like you are wary of committing to too much, but once you commit yourself to the right person, that is a very comfortable thing for you. And this is something that will make your partner, your romantic partner, fall in love with you very easily. And I actually see people generally falling in love with you quite easily, as long as they're not too much in their mind. And I see your romantic partner really being able to rise to your level and meet you on an intellectual level and also on a spiritual and romantic level. And it's very interesting. I see a lot of wisdom in your partnership. So whether this is current or in the future, you know, you'll have to decide for yourself and just apply it to your own situation. But I see a lot of wisdom, and there's a very equal balancing of energies here. It feels to me like the feminine and masculine energies are very balanced. And I'm saying that because in the world, first of all, this is about completion, but we have one side here and one side here, and these are completely balanced. And then even above, we have the gray cloud of smoke and the white cloud of smoke, or cloud, however you see this. And this is kind of to me like a yin and yang energy. And so to me, it feels like you are such a aligned person in your own right. You know, on the surface, at least, it certainly seems that you have everything figured out, but there's also this deep loving side to you, and you are very open to have someone come in and be the yin to your yang, or the yang to your yin, so to speak. And that's a very beautiful thing about you. So I see love, everything about romance and partnership. I see that being very good for you. I feel you're a very balanced person. The other thing I'm going to say before I close this reading is you have a good mentality. What I'm seeing in your energy field is you're the type of person where you're very self-possessed and you tell yourself, you know, I'm complete on my own and I'm just looking for someone to compliment me and to uplift me, you know, even further. You're not looking for someone to complete you. And that is a very important distinction. And that's actually what's going to help even more people fall in love with you and definitely call in the right partner. So I'm seeing really positive things for you. And I think that you are exactly where you're meant to be. And I hope that this reading resonates. If it did, please give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, share it if you feel so inclined. If you would like a personal reading or to join one of my coaching programs, you can check all of that out at the links down below. I have also launched my academy, so you can get my courses there. I have courses on manifestation, tarot and connecting with your spirit guides for very reasonable prices down at the links below. So check those out. Let me know how you like it. And last but not least, don't forget to use your keen offer. All right, my loves, I will see you soon in the next video. Bye. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. Let's find out what makes people fall in love with you. This is such a fun topic, and I am excited to see what comes through. So over here we have your first card. This is the 7 of Swords. Interesting way to start, so we will find out from Spirit what that is about. And let's pull a couple more cards here. Okay, we have the 9 of Pentacles. We have the Emperor. We have the Queen of Swords. And we have the Lovers. Very nice. And then I'm just going to pull a couple oracle cards here. Financial constraints. Sometimes these are so random. Anxiety. Okay. Woman holding a heart. And envy. Okay, wow, there's a lot of interesting energy in this pile. So let's get started. And I do want to start by saying, those of you who have watched my videos for a long time know that I kind of use the cards more as a prop or a hint at this point. I am directly channeling from Spirit. So all of these oracle cards, I'm going to tap into this, but I do want you to obviously take only what resonates, and very honestly, sometimes I tell people to take some of these cards with a grain of salt. So if you're seeing something that doesn't resonate, totally fine, let it go. But please tune into the messages and see what resonates with you as I'm speaking. So I'm feeling a mixed energy in this pile, and I'm going to start by where Spirit is pulling me. So we're first pulled to the 7 of Swords. And before you start to think about the traditional meaning of this card, what I'm hearing from Spirit is that some of your potential love suitors think that you are hard to pin down. It's possible that you're the type of person who has a lot of personal momentum, and it's almost like you're always on the move or always on the go. This could be physically, it can also be emotionally, meaning that, maybe you travel a lot, or another way that this could manifest is perhaps you're the type of person who always has a partner, meaning that when people are interested in you, it's like, oh, darn, there they are again. They have a partner. I can't get through to them. So this is something that's coming up, and the funny thing is that this can be very enticing for people in the sense that obviously it keeps them on their toes. So I'm only seeing this as a partial energy though. Like Spirit is showing me this circle, and Spirit is saying that this probably applies to like 25% of people who fall in love with you. And then the rest, recognize who you are, which is actually a very grounded, pragmatic business person in many ways, especially with these cards. We have the Emperor here, and then we also have the 9 of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So you have a lot of groundedness and earth energy as well. And so it's kind of interesting. I'm seeing that there are many reasons why people fall in love with you, and only one is that maybe you are kind of hard to pin down at times. The second thing I'm hearing from Spirit is that you are a successful person in your own right. So we have the 9 of Pentacles, we have the Emperor, we have the Queen of Swords. Like I was saying, these are all very powerful energies. These energies show somebody who is self-assured and is good at making decisions and is very pragmatic. Like you are a person of the earth, meaning that you're not going to rush into things. You might have a very adventurous personality, especially when it comes to your hobbies and traveling. But I feel that when it comes to decisions, you actually think through decisions very carefully, and you are a decisive person, and that's how people perceive you. I feel people fall in love with you because you are a thorough person, and I'm getting the energy that you would rather not commit to something if you were not able to do it justice. And I just keep hearing this word justice. It's like you only want to commit to things that you can truly follow through with, and you do your work with a lot of care and conviction and pragmatism. And this is something that people really honor in you. I'm also seeing that you could potentially have like a mothering energy about you. And it's funny because I'm seeing you have a very small circle of close friends. Like you really choose carefully who you spend time with and who you trust. And you might not tell people a lot of stuff about yourself. So there's another thing people find interesting about you. You can be a little secretive or a little bit reserved, but you also have this mothering energy around you. And you might only extend this to the people that you're really close to, but those who see it absolutely love it. They cherish it. They admire you. They feel like you have this nurturing energy, and it's like a cultivation energy. And Spirit is showing me in the Nine of Pentacles, this woman is holding this falcon, and then she's very gently kind of holding this pentacle, and it has all these grapes around it. And so she has this nurturing and cultivating energy about her. And it's not always something she does, it's more just her presence. Like you might have this very warm presence. It's not always something that you're doing, it's just your energy. There's no other way to describe it. And so people admire you, they admire your decision making. They also admire your ability to set boundaries, is something I'm hearing. And I think this is something you've been working on for a long time. So especially when it comes to emotions, you have this energy of, I know what I deserve and I'm not going to tolerate any less. And this is something people find wildly attractive, is what Spirit is saying. And this actually makes you very magnetic. So in your best of times, you actually set very firm boundaries with people and you protect your energy and you see your energy as sacred. And that makes you extremely magnetic to others. And you can also be very truthful, is what I'm seeing. So again, I do get this energy of reservedness, which is also shown by the Emperor here. You wouldn't show all of your cards, like you might even have a poker face a lot of times, but that makes people very curious about you. But despite the reservedness, you are somebody who is very honest and you're always going to tell the truth and you prioritize authenticity, and that makes people respect you a lot. And this applies not just to love, but also to business. People feel that they can trust you, they can rely on you, that you're never going to deceive them. So that is very important. And then here we have the Lovers. And the Lovers is the most beautiful card for any kind of love or partnership. Now, something Spirit is saying, which is really interesting, is I feel like you're the type of person who has always had really intense relationships. So I don't see you being the type of person where your relationships are kind of like free and that's it, like lovey-dovey and free and that's it, you know? It feels like your relationships are really intense and other people would think that you're like their destined partner. And there might have been a couple people in your life who have madly fallen in love with you, even if you didn't fall in love with them. And I'm seeing people thinking about you for months after you two have been together and even parted ways. You know, you would still linger in their mind and they would even think of you as the one who got away. So I'm seeing that people have this energy when they're falling in love with you where they feel it's so destined, like they feel like you're their soulmate or their life partner. And Spirit is very clearly saying that this is more than one person who feels this way about you. I'm getting like at least 3 to 5, especially over the course of your life. So what I want to say there is I feel your partnerships, they have a very intense energy to them and people like that and they're attracted to it and they're drawn to it. And, you know, it's an interesting energy and it's just something to be mindful of that throughout the course of your life, especially when it comes to love, it's going to feel really intense for you specifically. Okay, so let's talk about some of these cards over here. And the easiest one that I can start talking about is envy. So yes, I see that there are some people, especially of your same gender, it seems, who might be a little envious of you. Why? Because you are so authentic. You're not afraid to shine your light. You're the type of person who will walk into a room. You don't need to say that much, but your energy is very self-possessed. You know who you are. Other people can be a little envious of this, and I'm seeing like they might be really kind on the surface, but internally they might struggle and they might even feel a lack of self-worth. And I feel this is just a social thing that you might run into sometimes. I don't think it's a big deal, but I do think it is important to protect your energy and protect your boundaries, and that is why this Queen of Swords card is coming up. When we have anxiety over here, what I'm feeling is that this is a little bit of a mixed energy. So yes, you might struggle with anxiety from time to time, especially if it feels like a destined partnership that you're in, especially if there's distance, lack of communication, if there's any kind of twin flame energy. I do see that sparking your anxiety. And so at times you might have these waves of anxiety, but I do see them passing. And overall, you are able to come back to your place of center. Because who you are at your core is very much like the Emperor. You are a self-possessed person, and the anxiety is more like a spike than a continual thing, is kind of how it shows up energetically. Now, of course, if that doesn't resonate with you, that's fine, put it to the side. But I'm seeing that you might also spark some anxiety in others, meaning that especially if you're someone who's hard to pin down, who has big dreams, big goals, who is always traveling, they might feel like, oh my gosh, I just really want this person. How do I get through to them? How do I pin them down? And this could make them very anxious. And this could also make them struggle with their self-worth, because I'm seeing that spiritually, you show up as a very big spirit. You seem to be very wise. You have this Queen of Swords energy. It's very decisive. You know who you are. This can make other people feel a little bit like they struggle with self-worth, and that's not your problem. It just means that you are going to energetically attract people who have to rise to your level, and it's almost like a command spiritually. It almost feels like it's going to be hard for people who are not at your level to break through to you. And so, to be honest, I'm not really sure what this financial constraints thing is about, unless this is something that you're dealing with specifically. If this is the case, I feel that you are going to be okay. I feel you're a very resourceful person. And it's interesting because there's all these cobwebs in this card, and yet there's actually quite a bit of space in this closet. And to me, what that signifies is that there's a lot of space for possibility, and there's a lot of space to breathe new life into projects. And there's this book here. It feels to me like if you are to lean into your creativity, you'll figure this out. Now, if this is an energy of those who are falling in love with you, or partnership kind of energy, I feel this just has to do with this self-worth thing. So yes, you might trigger some people that they feel they're not quite as worthy. Here you are, you're like the 9 of Pentacles person. You have this wealth and this abundance that you've cultivated. Even if it's not physical wealth, there's a huge part of your soul which is a very big spirit. Like I said, you have a lot of energetic wealth. You know who you are. Even if you don't have tons of physical wealth yet, it's almost like you trust in spirit that is going to come into fruition during the course of your lifetime. And so this can make other people feel a little unworthy around you, and that's okay. It's something that they need to sort through, and it's not your job to solve that for them. I do see over here, woman holding heart, that you attract a lot of attention. I feel that it's more so an energetic thing than it is anything else, but you have a very strong energy. You definitely have a presence. You walk into a room, people feel your presence. They can't help it. It's like you're this magnetic force. And to me, it feels like you are quite an expander. So you help other people expand, and it's almost because there's nowhere for them to go. You look into their eyes and they feel seen by you. And it can actually be in a way that makes them a little uncomfortable because you really, really fully see them. You're like the Emperor. Like I said, you're looking straight into their eyes and you're commanding them to step up to the plate. So this is the energy I'm picking up. I hope that it resonates. I hope that this helped you. If you liked it, please give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, share it if you feel so inclined. If you would like a personal reading or to join one of my coaching programs, you can find the links to that down below. And also my academy has launched, so my courses are available, and you can get the links for that below as well. Last but not least, don't forget to use your keen offer, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye! All right, pile 3, welcome to your reading. So let's find out why people fall in love with you. Your first card is here, and you have the King of Swords. So let's explore this a little bit more. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Four of Wands. And we have the Nine of Swords here. And then I'm just going to pull a couple oracle cards too. 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, Goddess of the Moon, Angel of Balance. So much blue energy here. Like, look at all these cards, they're all blue. And last but not least, Deceit. Okay. All right, you guys. So let's tap in and see what I am hearing from Spirit. Like I shared with the last pile, I use the cards as a prop at this point. They're more like a hint. So take what resonates, leave the rest. I do not believe that the cards are all written in stone. They have symbols and they have meaning, but this is a way that Spirit communicates with us. So I'm really going to share mainly what I'm hearing from Spirit. So the first thing that I hear is that you can be reserved, and we have the King of Swords, so that is the first card I'm tapping into, and I feel that you can be hard to break into, but interestingly, this can actually make people fall in love with you because those who seek a challenge and those who see something special in you will make the effort to proceed, and I'm seeing that with the Knight of Wands here. So to me, it feels like you as a person are almost like this interesting Rubik's Cube for other people. You make them feel like, there's something more to this person. I'm very curious to figure out what it is, but they're not readily making the information accessible. So therefore I have a challenge and I have to work to gain some momentum to break through. And so here we have the Nine of Wands, and I'm feeling like other people might feel a little intimidated in your presence. It's not because of anything you're trying to do, is what Spirit is saying very specifically. It is more just who you are. You are reserved. You are an interesting mix of experiences. You have a lot of creativity in you as well. And Spirit is also saying that you have a lot of untapped potential. So when it comes to things like work, I just feel that there's even more expansion on your horizon, and that's all going to show through more this year and next year. But especially over the next 3 years, Spirit is saying, you are really going to be expanding in your work life. So that's good. And it's interesting because people might feel a little bit intimidated because you are so reserved in some ways. You don't show all of your cards. You do have secrets. You do hold information close to your chest. And that's okay. It also makes people very curious about you. And those who are curious and those who actually move forward, wow, I mean, they find you very fascinating. There's an energy about you which they associate with mysticism and they associate with expansion, but they can't quite put their finger on it, is what I'm hearing. And that is why, it takes them a few tries to get through to you. So maybe in the past, people have said something like, well, it feels like you have some walls up, or it feels like you're not telling me everything, or it feels like you're holding something close to your chest. Well, this is like the King of Swords energy coming through. And very interestingly, it makes you very attractive. So that's cool. So let's move on. And I'm actually going to move on here to the Nine of Swords. So this card usually symbolizes anxiety. And interestingly, we have deceit under it. I don't feel that you are somebody who's a trickster. I don't really get that energy from you specifically. However, a less evolved person might believe that you're trying to play games with them. They might think that because you're so reserved and you're not sharing all the information that you're trying to trick them, and that could cause them a lot of anxiety. I don't feel that it's anything more than that, though. Just being very honest, I'm not seeing that this is like a huge portal of energy. I feel that more of the energy is I'm being drawn to like these blue cards. So all these cards with blue, this seems very symbolic of you and the core of your personality. And I'm getting that you are also a balanced person, so people can't quite figure you out. I'm just being honest. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't know, are they this or that? They can't quite figure it out, but it really sparks curiosity, and that would make people fall in love with you. Like I said, you're like a puzzle or a Rubik's Cube, and it makes people very fascinated in getting to know you. And then in addition to this energy, the King of Swords energy, I'm seeing this huge spiritual side to you. So, wow, I mean, you could be a very pure channel. You could be a very intuitive person. You might have very prophetic dreams. I feel there's something extremely ethereal and otherworldly about you. And again, this really sparks people's curiosity. So those who understand it and are attracted to this energy, this would be like a huge magnet to them where, wow, they really want to get to know you. They really want to see what's under the surface. Those who don't understand it, they might just find it foreign and strange, and they might just kind of fall off, and that's okay. Like I said to another pile, this is actually a very beautiful filtering mechanism that you have in your energy field that will only attract in what is right for you. And I do feel that it's going to continue to progress in that way. But you might be a really pure channel, you might be intuitive. I feel that definitely there's something about you which is extraordinarily unique, and your energy is very powerful, and it can also be very healing for people, is what I'm seeing. So you have Angel of Balance here. When we see Angel of Balance with this blue energy, and she has this blue aura and this kind of elixir that she's holding, I feel that you make others feel at peace. And it's interesting because although it might take them some time to get to know the real you, you really make them feel balanced and centered and at peace, and you have this energy which is like water, but at the same time, it can be very grounding. And so when people are in your presence, they feel peaceful, even though you might not be sharing all your secrets. And you can do both things at once. And I think that's a really amazing trait. I feel you're the type of person who doesn't always need to be talking, but the way that you communicate, your words are very powerful. We have the 5th chakra over here. And Archangel Gabriel is such a powerful angel. And I feel that you are a very powerful communicator, and you're like a divine messenger. It's as if you are Archangel Gabriel yourself. It's like you're sent from God. You have beautiful messages to share with people, and those who listen to you and those who want to get to know you and want to see what's under the surface and the harder exterior, wow, they're very curious about you, and they feel that you always are furthering their understanding of the world and actually the entire universe. Spirit is saying that you might have acquired a lot of insights over time, and these could be in the form of intuitive downloads. You might have even watched a lot of videos on energy or planets or, the external outside of the world is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like everything about the universe, about the space, solar system, all of that. It feels to me like you're really interested in what is beyond humankind. And you like to sit with these philosophical questions. And because you like to sit with those questions, people find that very unique, and they feel that you've done a lot to understand yourself and to understand others and to understand your purpose. And that's something that people are extremely attracted to. And it would most certainly make the right people fall in love with you. And I'm also going to say you have a very expansive energy. So not only are you balanced, but especially physically in romantic connections. I'm seeing these waterfalls here, and I'm feeling like your romantic partners, it's almost like you are the waterfall. Like I'm just seeing this energy of they feel completely submerged by you, especially in physical intimacy, and they feel that it's like a very peaceful feeling, and it's very healing for them. And they're just so present and so in the moment with you, and they feel that you are transforming them from the inside out. And in that way, you have a very spiritual, transformative energy that you share with your partners. And it feels very beautiful, and it feels like any partner that you would have romantically would always walk away with a deeper understanding of themselves. And so what I'm seeing is that I feel you're a careful picker. The King of Swords energy is not somebody who lets everyone in, but those that you do let in, it's almost like they've met your requirements. That's kind of what I hear. They've met your requirements. You have maybe 2 to 6. They're not super intense, but it is important to you that you're not just associating with just anyone. You have to associate with the right people. And once those people are let in, I feel you're very transformative for them. You can change their entire life, and they get a lot of healing out of you. And that is what makes people fall in love with you, because you're always healing them. So here we have the 4 of Wands. I saved the best for last. This card is the card of marriage and happiness and longevity and prosperity, especially when it comes to love. And it's like the richness of love and the abundance of love. And so what I want to say is, although it may be hard to get into your energy field, and especially into a partnership with you, those who do feel that there's an immense richness here. And not only do you inspire them, you transform them, you uplift them, you change the way that they think about themselves. And because of that, they feel like a much different person after meeting you. So I'm not just saying that because this is a very unique energy, and not a lot of people have the energy to transform others, but you do. And it's something that will stand you in good stead in both love and business throughout the course of your life, and especially any kind of travels or collaborations or partnerships that you do. It's like every time you commit to something, you transform what is in front of you. And that is a very beautiful energy. And that is why everyone falls in love with you. So there you go. Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully it gave you some good insights. If it resonated, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, share it if you feel so inclined. If you would like to book a personal reading or join one of my coaching programs, you can find those links down below in the description box. And don't forget to use your Keen offer. So I love you all, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye!